Okay, so this is the battlefield. It is deployment is Vanguard Strike, and game style is the Scouring. So we have 6 objectives, 1 in each deployment zone. We have the first one here, and then another one here, just in the center of this abandoned Imperial Guard outpost. And then another one here in this deployment zone, and another one here on the center of this bridge, and another one here just out in the field just ahead of this deployment zone by this mech shop, and then the last one here just inside this abandoned destroyed building. This is 1750 points, Imperial Guard. To start off, my HQ and my Warlord is my company commander, and he has power weapon, bolt pistol, he's upgraded carapace armor, and he also has the laurels of command. As for the rest of his squad, there's a regimental standard, Voxcaster, sniper rifle, medipack, and there's also master of ordnance. In the squad, I have a standard, Voxcaster, a grenade launcher, a medipack, and the commander is just basic commander. And there's a commissar attached to that squad, and he is upgraded with a power weapon. And then for all 3 squads are exactly the same. They're just basic 10-man squads with a Voxcaster, and the sergeant has a power weapon. Multi-laser, dozer blade, hull-mounted heavy bolter, and then the platoon command squad is in this Chimera, which is just normal Chimera but with a heavy bolter on its turret. The veteran squad here, they are upgraded to Grenadiers, and they have a Voxcaster. They have Stormtroopers. They have a Voxcaster and a Melt-A-Gun, and the sergeant has a power weapon. Both these 2 squads are exactly the same. And back here I have a heavy weapons team of 3 autocannons, another squad with mortars. For heavy support, I have 3 Lehman Russes. I have a Lehman Russ Demolisher with heavy bolter sponsons, Lehman Russ Punisher with heavy bolter sponsons, hull-mounted heavy flamers on both of them. And then on this one I have, it's a Lehman Russ battle tank, and it's upgraded with a tank commander. It has a hull-mounted las cannon, a heavy bolter sponsons, dozer blade, smoke launchers, extra armor, camo netting, and a storm bolter. Stack choice is just my Hellhound, just standard Inferno cannon, heavy bolter, hull-mounted. And that is 1750 points of Imperial Guard.
Okay, this is my 1750 point Tyranid army, Termagants. Basic, what you see is what you get. Nothing, no upgrades or anything. Now let's move on to my Warlord, a winged hive tyrant with regeneration and rending claws upgrade. Termagant with crushing claws, regen, and that's it. These Termagants here weren't paid for. The Termagant will be spawning them. And then here we have 3 Carnifex with adrenal glands, regen, and that's it. And move here. We have 1 squad of 6 Gene Stealers. They have adrenal glands, and that's all they're upgraded with. Moving here, we have a brood of 6 Gene Stealers and a Brood Lord. They also have adrenal glands, and that's all they're upgraded with. Here we have my Trigon. He has adrenal glands and regen, and that's it. These 20 Hormagants will be in reserve, same with these 20, and that is my 1750 point Tyranid army.
Okay, so this is deployment. We have the Imperial Guard deployment here. this objective. Ready to move into this compound, grab that objective. And for the Tyranid deployment, the turbo gun hidden back here. Gene Stealer's just here. Gene Stealer's infiltrated up here, this building. And then we have this swarm of Termagants, and then the Carnifex brood is just over here. Tyranids can roll to steal the initiative. So for reserves, for the Tyranids, we have a Trigon, or the Trigon's will be deep striking in, and the Hive Tyrant will be flying in. And then these two broods of Hormagaunts will be coming in from reserve as well. And for the Imperial Guard, we just have the two command squads and their chimeras, and then the stormtroopers will be deep striking. Okay, so each of the objectives now, we have the one just in the Imperial Guard deployment is worth 3, and the one just here is also worth 3. The one at Tyranid deployment is worth 2, and the one on the bridge is worth 2. The one out in the field is worth 1, and the one in the abandoned building is movement phase. Tyranids turn 1. Pretty standard here. Carnifex has moved up, or Termagant's moved up. Gene Stealers are moving up, and so are they. And the Turbogon has bred 11 more Termagants. We're going into shooting. And to finish off the Tyranid, turn 1, their shooting phase just obviously they just started running up. Carnifexes ran up, Termagants ran up, Gene Stealers moving in. They ran up as well, and those spawned Termagants also ran up. And that is the end of Tyranid turn 1. Okay, so an Imperial Guard movement in turn 1. Of course, pretty standard, just these guard squads moving up all over the place. Veterans just shifted a bit in their building, trying to get a bit of advantage. Punisher moved up, trying to react to the swarm coming in, and he just kind of shifted a bit, getting a better view on the Gene Stealers. Platoon command vehicle moved up, just slightly. Company command vehicle moved up quite a bit, just following the Demolisher here, and all of these squads moved in, and they're converging on this point here. And the Hellhound drove up into the compound to try and react to the Gene Stealers. So we'll see what happens in Imperial Guard turn 1 with the shooting phase, and there is night fighting. Okay, so end of shooting phase for Imperial Guard in turn 1. Combined fire from the, actually quite a few things. The Hellhound fired into the squad of Gene Stealers and killed some, and then also combined fire from these two squads.
Also the Demolisher.
Yeah, the Demolisher fired into them as well. Some of the mortars also fired into them and killed all the Gene Stealers except for the Broodlord, but we did get him down to 2 wounds. There was just some mortar fire down here. Failed to move the Turbogon, but we did kill one of the Termagants. Moving over. Fire from the Punisher and from the veteran squad and this guard squad cut down that Termagant squad pretty well in half, if not more. And then an artillery strike from the Master of Ordnance just suffered just a little confidence. And over here, the tank commander and the autocannons and this Chimera all fired into this brood of Gene Stealers and killed them, giving Imperial Guard first blood on turn 1. So now we go into Tyranid turn 2. Okay, so this is a roll for night fighting. See if it's still night fighting.
All right. This night fighting is working for me. Let's hope it keeps going. Oh.
And it is. Okay. So the Trigon is arriving from reserves, and he's deep striking right in behind my lines. I'm gonna roll up for scatter here now, and he scatters 9 inches off. So we rolled up on the deep strike mishap table, and he's just gone back into reserves, and he'll be back. Okay. So to start off, Tyranid turn 2, we have their movement phase and their shooting phase. They just ran. The Tervagon has moved out from his little hiding post, and he's looking to smash into the Imperial Guard armored line. And the Gaunts he spawned are also running up. The Broodlord is just running up as well, trying to close the gap. Over here, these Gaunts moved forward, and they also ran like only 1 inch, so they're just kind of chilling there. And then we have these last 3 Carnifexes are making a beat straight for that Layman Russ Punisher. Okay, so we're going to see the Tervagon's going to make it into the Hellhound. And now the Carnifexes trying to make that charge. They are exactly, we're looking for a double 6 here. And if they do, so let's see. For the start of Imperial Guard turn 2, go with that movement phase. This squad just moved up, getting a better vantage point up here to the oncoming Doom. The Punisher just pulled back, trying to get away from him. And the tank commander has just pivoted on the point to try and react to these Carnifexes coming on. The platoon command squad disembarked from their Chimera. Demolisher, Layman Russ Demolisher, backed up. Getting away from the Tier Mosh which was coming in, and the company command vehicle just moved back as well. The Hellhound moved up, just closing off that gap. We're going to burn down these Termagants, and then the infantry squad's just moving up, grabbing that objective, and also this squad moving in, garrisoning that. So we're partway through the Imperial Guard shooting phase, and I've just been firing shots into these Carnifexes, and from the Punisher, fired all his shots, got a couple wounds, but a lot of them they were saved and also still night fighting, so cover saves. And then my commander fired everything he had down there, still couldn't do enough. But it was this last squad of veterans fired all their shots into the front Carnifex, and 1 shot. He failed both his armor save and his cover save, and he was on his last wound, and he was brought down, the Carnifex in the front. So, once again, the humble but yet very mighty Lasgun proves its vitality.
Just wait until these Carnifexes get over to your tanks, and then we'll see.
Tyranid's last words. Okay, so just to finish up shooting for the Imperial Guard, and also their second turn, Demolisher and the Chimera fired down and were able to get, and also the Mortars were able to take down 3 wounds from the Tervagon. All this shooting that happened here, there were more wounds from an artillery strike from the Master of Ordnance. Struck the Carnifexes. And these guardsmen also fired and got another wound with their lasguns on 1 roll. Just saying, lasguns. Carnifexes are a little bit in danger. And then coming around, the Hellhound burnt out all of these Termagants, and there's just this one left. He's just staying there. And then there's some failed shooting on the Broodlord, and he's still just standing there with his 2 wounds. So now we'll move into Tyranid turn 3. So the Trigon, just deep striking, he's able to automatically come on this turn, and he was gonna go here, but he scattered back and just right there. Now we're going to roll up for his Hive Tyrant to come on.
Doesn't.
Okay, so end of Tyranid shooting and movement. We've just rolled up on some assaults. Tervigon assaulted into the Demolisher, and this Tervigon has just hobbled back to this objective. Brood Lord is grabbing the side armor of the Hellhound. The Trygon failed to make his assault into the Chimera. Coming around over here, these Gaunts moved up and then fired into the Guardsmen that were up here and killed all of the ones up there, but the squad is down here and they're going to stay there. And these Carnifexes made their attack the 8-inch charge. So we'll get up to assaults here. The rolls here. Automatic to hit. Demolisher hadn't moved, and this was the result. 2 bouncing hits, 1 glance, and 1 penetrating hit. Now, if you'll take that and roll up, see what the penetration.
Oh.
Okay, so it's nothing. That's just 2 hull points down from this. Okay, so rolling up for this attack here. It's automatic hits again. Punisher hadn't moved. 4's to glance again.
Good.
Oh, okay, so 1 glance. That's just 1 hull point down. Okay, so that is the end of turn 3. Some assaults happening. Some of the Tyranids getting in. Imperial Guard getting a little bit serious now, realizing the threat more imminent. Okay, rolling on for reserves for my Stormtroopers of Squad 1.
4 up. Nope.
Nope. And then second squad.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so we have 1 squad of Stormtroopers deep striking, and they will be. Okay, so I'm having them deep strike right there. I'm gonna roll up for scatter.
Yep.
Oh my jeez. Okay, so they scatter 12. Oh jeez. 12 inches.
You want me to do the freeze?
That way. So we'll figure that out. Okay, so they have just landed here, and they have successfully. So for Imperial Guard movement, just some obvious things like the Demolisher backing up, getting out of the range of those crushing claws, and the Chimera backed up, and the company command squad disembarked just so I can hold this objective and move my heavy weapons squads. And my Punisher backed out of that combat as well. He's looking ready to open fire at his attackers. And this platoon command squad is just moving up to support this objective. Hellhound moved up. He's just looking to ensure that the Tyranids don't get this objective. Just getting ready to shoot down into these gaunts, and then the remaining squad from here moved out to also take those gaunts. So we move into Imperial Guard shooting phase for turn 3. With their assaults, just this squad charged into the Trygon, failed to get any wounds, and the Trygon took out 3 guardsmen there. But over here, we have a bit more success. Now these guardsmen charged in over here, and they killed some of these Termagants, and the Termagants failed to retaliate. Imperial Guard turn 3, we went to Tyranid turn 4. Okay, so rolling up on reserves for the Hive Tyrant.
on 3s. And also your
Yeah, I know.
gaunts on 3s. Okay, there's one. They both come out. Finished here in turn 4 with their assaults. The Hormagaunts over here assaulted in aid to help the Trigon, and they killed most of that squad, and then that squad failed over here, failed to glance the armor of this Punisher, so he survives with his last health point. So we'll take advantage of that. For reserves for Imperial Guard on a 3-up, my Stormtroopers coming. Okay, Imperial Guard turn 4, movement, just some general shuffling. The tank commander is just pivoted on the spot, where you shoot with his Carnifex, and the Punisher is driven away from him and ready to fire. The Demolishers backed off from the Tervagon, and then this Chimera just moved up just under 6 inches. So he can still fire his multi-laser, so try and get some last shots in, but ultimately just to block off the just rampaging Tervagon from destroying his Demolisher. Platoon Command has moved up. They're looking to avenge the previous squad from this Tervagon, ready to charge in. And then this squad has abandoned their post inside of the ruined building just to grab this objective. The Hellhound has spun around, and he's looking to start toasting up some Hormagaunts. These Stormtroopers have just moved back to grab this 2-point objective on the bridge. Chimera moved up through the river, just full distance, just moving. And these guys are still locked in combat, and we'll get to the Imperial Guard shooting phase. Okay, so to end off Imperial Guard turn 4 shooting phase, the Carnifex here was brought down by the tank commander. His autocannons turned their fire and fired at the Trigon, dropping some of its wounds, and some rapid firing from the squads here also took down more wounds. The multi-laser managed to get a couple of wounds on the Trigon as well, and the Demolisher cannon fired, scattered a little bit, but still damaged the Trigon, and he is now firing down. Killed some of the Hormagaunts here, but failed to wound the Trigon. And that's it for Imperial Guard shooting. And we'll go into assaults. We got some new assaults we made, and some other ones to keep. What's going on over here? We're just moving in from the guards. We're on the command squad. We haven't gotten to the platoon commander or the commissar yet. They're just attacking the Trigon. They have gotten 3 hits and 3 wounds. And so now we're going to roll up on his 3 bombers. To the commissar and my platoon.
4s to hit. 6s to wound.
Power swords, so no armor saves. 6s to wound. Nothing. So the Trigon survives, and then we'll get these. So this is the Trigon retaliation. So on 3s to hit, and then 2s to wound.
Everything but 1.
Okay. 2 of them on the platoon commander, and the rest on normal guardsmen. So 5 ups here. Goes 2, and then 4 ups on my platoon commander. And there goes platoon commander. He's falling. Okay, so I just remembered I have feel no pain because my metapack, so I'm just rerolling those failed wounds. So on a 4-up, they passed. They survived. Okay, so platoon commander survives. And with that, that ends the Imperial Guard turn 4. They'll stay in the assault and continue that fight, and this fight here will continue on. After they'll pile them in after. We move into Tyranid turn 5, where we will be seeing the Hive Tyrant finally fly on. And there he is, flying on. The winged hive tyrant has finally made his appearance, but it may be too little, too late. Tyranid movement. The hive tyrant is flying up. Kind of a vicious scene for these veterans here. Dawn has just moved up, seeking to hunt down this demolisher that it has been since the beginning of the game. Looking to see if we can get it. We still have the assaults over here, and Gon's just shuffling around, moving up, starting to grab objectives. So we have assaults to do, assaults to make, and we'll get into that. 2-minute assault phase on turn 5. Not much happened, just Turvagon moving up, just getting into base contact with Demolisher here, looking to tear it apart. Over here, we still have an assault ongoing with these guardsmen and these Termagons. And over here, the Trigon would like to declare a challenge to my Commissar. And I'll have to accept. So we'll get to these assaults. Results on the Tervagon striking the Demolisher. He has 1 penetrating hit, and we're going to roll to see what that does. 2. So the vehicle is just wrecked. So getting to the attacks for the Trigon onto the Commissar. 4s to hit, 3s to hit. Okay, so that's 2 hits. 2 up to wound.
And I don't have rending claws.
4 up armor save. Okay, and then I have feel no pain. 4 up. So he survives to attack the Trigon back. And to end Tyranid, turn 5, we just finished up some assaults. 1 Tervagon here died. The Tervagon destroyed the Demolisher finally, and is now just triumphantly bounding away. The Trigon failed to kill the Commissar, and he just survived, just with his feel no pain roll, and is now on to retaliation attacks here. So we'll get on that. Okay, so my Commissar's retaliation on a 4 up, he hits. Oh my god! Oh jeez. Okay, and then I get an automatic wound with my platoon standards. And with that, the Commissars killed the Trigon in this last hit, and they consolidated, and they're going to attack these Hornets. With that, that ends Tyranid turn 5. We move into Imperial Guard movement on turn 5. Okay, so Imperial Guard movement on turn 5. Punisher just moving back up here. We're gonna, I don't know, just try and shoot at the Hive Tyrant. This guy just spun around, still just pivoting, looking to aim his guns at the Tervagon. Autocannons aiming at guns at the Tervagon. The Chimera pulled back just a bit, but still aiming its guns again at the Tervagon. These guys just shuffling around a bit, holding this objective a bit better. The Hellhound pulled around. Just gonna close off these Hormigons. These guys just moved up a bit better around that objective. Chimera moved up, and these guys deep struck way behind the Imperial Guard. Turn 5. Just some shooting coming from the Punisher. Just took this guy down 3 wounds. These guys fired into him, but failed to wound him. Tank Commander firing up at the Tervagon. This beast of a monster failed to wound it. These guys here also failed to wound it. And these guys here failed to wound it. He's just been tanking everything. These guys, still all just standing around. That's really good. That's the end of the game, unless it goes on here. And that ends the game on turn 5. We'll tally up the victory points. So, with the Imperial Guard holding this 3-point objective, this 3-point objective, this 2-point objective, that gives them 8 victory points just through objectives. They also got First Blood, bringing them to 10, and then they also have Landbreaker with these sounds like it would bring them to 12. The Tyranids hold no objectives, but the this monstrous creature here did gain Linebreaker, bringing the Tyranids up to 2 victory points. So the game, Imperial Guard win this game 12-2.